So good afternoon po to everyone who are joining us for this afternoon session, both here in our Zoom and FB Live po. So for everyone's information po, we are also live po sa aming FB page, the ICT Cordillera. So if you have time, you can also share po yung ating live. And also sa mga nanonood po sa ating FB Live, you can also join us here sa Zoom. We still have slots pa naman po, and you can join using po yung credential na sinend namin via our comment section. So welcome po again to this afternoon session. So I am Giselle po, and together with me is Ma'am Kat, also from the ICT and our OJTs po, and other members of our project po. And we will be your facilitator for this afternoon session. So I would like to first greet everyone po, including men, of course, a happy Women's Month po. No, so as we all know naman po, annually every March, we are celebrating the National Women's Month. For this year's recurring theme, We for Gender Equality and Inclusive Society. Hashtag we can be equal. As our contribution to this celebration, we bring you this event entitled Hashtag Girl Boss Women in ICT. For this afternoon session, we will be featuring women startup founders and enablers here in the Cordillera Administrative Region. We are going to be inspired by their success stories and stories about being women in tech and women entrepreneurs and as startup enablers and founders. Later on, we will get to know more about our speakers. To start with our session, may I ask everyone to please So before we move on po to our welcome message, I would like to present to everyone some reminders for us to have a smooth flow for this afternoon session. First reminder po is kindly rename your Zoom account to the following format, your first name underscore your last name, for proper identification po later sa ating Q&A. And also if you belong to an organization, you can also put your organization before your name, so that we can recognize din po our participants. For our Zoom background naman po, we encourage everyone to open po yung kanilang camera if you want po or you are able to open it. And also yung ating Zoom background po is already sent naman po sa ating chat box. So you can freely use that one po para maayos yung tsura natin later if we are going to open our camera. For our microphones naman po, make sure po to keep it muted to avoid disrupting po our session. And if time comes po na you can talk, you can freely open it naman po. And of course, to respect everyone, especially our speaker and of course the participants, and avoid making unnecessary comments para po, just respect each and everyone po during our session. For questions po or comments, feel free po again to use our chat box or yung reaction icon po natin sa Zoom para mas maano po yung session natin, mas interactive. And also for the digital certificate po, we will be of course giving digital certificate to both our Zoom participants and FB Live participants. We just want to require yun lang po to accomplish po yung ating evaluation form. other than yung attendance form po before yung start ng event. The evaluation form po will be our basis on giving out po yung ating digital certificate. Rest assured naman po na pag nagbigay po kayo nung or na-evaluate or na-accomplish po yung evaluation form, we will send your digital certificate. And also yung attendance form po natin again is sent po on our chat box for your accomplishment. Ay, wait, sorry. Wait lang po, nawala ang, ayan. So that's just some of the reminders po before we start. So to formally open po ang ating event for this afternoon, I call po our Regional Director Engineer Ray M. Parnacio to give us his welcome remarks. Good afternoon po, sir.
Hello, good afternoon, Giselle, and to everyone. To all our participants, am I coming clear and visually clear and sa audio, ano, Jen?
Loud and clear naman, sir. Medyo yung taas lang ng mukha niyo, sir, yung nakikita
Okay.
po. Pero okay lang naman, sir.
Sandali lang, ha? Okay na? Yeah.
Yes,
To all participants for this activity, a great day and a good afternoon to everyone. I would like to first to greet everyone with a happy Women's Month. Annually, we celebrate this event to acknowledge the social, cultural, economic, and political achievements of women in general. It marks the movement to foster and cultivate gender equality through women's empowerment, as the ICT recognizes the vital role of women in the ICT industry. With the recurring theme from 2023 to 2028, we for gender equality and inclusive society, along with the department's strong dedication to advancing and startup industry in the country, through our ICT industry development program, we bring you this afternoon session entitled #GirlBoss, Women in ICT, featuring women startup founders and enablers in the Cordillera administrative region. We at the ICT and all other key agencies that support startups, of course, DTI and DOST through the Republic Act 11337 or the Innovative Startup Act are able to provide support to the startups, especially here in the Cordillera region. We acknowledge the importance of a startup in the community and how it helps our economy by solving social problems. We also aim to encourage the entrepreneurial spirit of the Cordillerans. We are glad that we are able to invite 3 speakers this afternoon to share about their startup journey as women founders and enablers. I hope everyone will get inspired by the success stories of women entrepreneurs in technology. Again, we welcome you and we look forward to the best of the afternoon session.
Thank you po, Sir Ray, for that message. We truly hope nga po that our participants will be inspired by this afternoon session. So before we introduce po our first speaker, may I ask everyone po to kindly open our camera po for our photo ops and for our documentation po. So thank you po for opening our camera. So I have 2 screens na. Baka may gusto pa pong humabol na mag-open ng kanilang camera. Ayan. So we have, I think, hindi naman po, babae lang po ang ating mga participants ngayon. I see some men that is joining us po. Ayan. So, meron pa po bang mag-open? I think, okay na po tayo. So, I'll be taking the screenshot po. Ano ba yung ating? Ayan. So, 1, 2, 3. Ay, ito. Baka may mag-open pa. Sige po, habol pa po tayo. Okay. So I'll be taking the photo na po in 1, 2, 3, smile. One more time po. The second page. I think ito pa po. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Ayan. Thank you so much po. You can keep your cameras open po if you want. Thank you po again, Sir Ray, for that message. So let me just share my screen. Ayan. So I hope everyone is settled na po, no? So we will start with our first speaker na po after I introduce her. So let me properly introduce po our first speaker. So our first speaker po is Miss Giselle Oliva. So Miss Giselle Oliva is a startup community enabler from the Technological Consortium for Awareness, Readiness, and Advancement of Knowledge in Innovation, Cordillera, or Tarakika. So she will be discussing later kung ano po ba itong Tarakika and its role in our community. And the Cordillera Regional Inclusive Innovation Center, or ATRAC, or the Accelerator Towards Transformative Regional Advancement, Competitiveness, and Transcendence. So she focuses on facilitating the growth of the Cordillera startup ecosystem, making connections and helping others in making innovative solutions to current problems. So let us give a round of virtual applause to our first speaker, Miss Giselle Oliva. So Giselle, you can start na po.
Ayan. So, thank you, G. Thank you, Giselle. It's like I'm talking to myself kasi magka-pangalan pa ngayon. Katukayo. Ayan. So, good afternoon to everyone po. Before we start, of course, I want to know all of our participants dito. It's the holy hour, 1 p.m. Kaya alam ko medyo inaantok tayo. Ayan. So, roll call naman muna tayo. Ayan. So, ilan po dito sa inyo, sino-sino po ang mga students? Ayan. Ilan ang mga students dito? You can raise your hands. Just tap the raise hand reaction. Yan. Merong isa, dalawa. What about for the others? Ilan ang estudyante? Okay. Ayan, dumadami na sila. Merong, wow, pati si Ma'am G, estudyante siya. Ayan, merong tatlo daw, may tatlong estudyante. Ayan, thank you so much for coming here. What about for our professionals, ang ating mga faculty? Meron po ba? Ayan. Merong ding, si Ma'am G lahat siya student at saka faculty. Ayan. So meron ding 5, okay, 6. Nice. Mas madami po pala ang faculty natin. And lastly, syempre, ilan po dito ang merong startup? Meron po ba? Yan. Merong mga hindi na nag-lower ng hands nila. Baka meron silang mga startup. Ayan. Merong 2 na may startup. Ay, isa na lang. Ayan. Si Jessalie. Ayan. So, hello, Jessalie. Nice meeting you. Later on, we'll know more about what is a startup, what are we doing in Taraki and Attract. But as much as possible, we want to make this session as engaging as much as possible. Ayan. So, kung kaya nyo pong i-open yung camera po ninyo, that would be great. Ayan. So, pwede po bang i-open natin ang ating mga cameras? Ayan. Thank you so much po for opening your cameras. Ayan. Thank you po. Ayan. What about for the others? Siyempre magandang makita natin yung isa't isa although virtual siya, no? Ayan. So, thank you po. I hope that all throughout the session, naka-open po yung ating camera para maging mas engaging yung ating event. But to make it more engaging, I have prepared po a Padlet. It's like a mood board for everyone. So, we are encouraging your participation po all throughout this sesh. So let me share po my screen so that you can check out yung atin pong mood board. Yan. So what you can do po is this. So what you can do is join padlet.com/taraki2 /girlboss. So you can search that link po, or you can scan the QR code. So I'll see you there, everyone. Dun po sa ating Padlet. Ayan, just click that link po that I have sent, and let's see po kung sino po ang mga makakasama doon. So everyone, if you're inside the Padlet, can I see a thumbs up po? Okay, may nakita akong isang thumbs up. Dalawa, tatlo. Okay po, thank you po. 4. Dapat 53 na thumbs up, or kaya 50 na thumbs up po sana. Ayan. May 5 na. Okay. 6. Okay, nice. So, yan po. So what we want to do is we want to complete the whole Padlet, the whole mood board or vision board po natin for 30 minutes. Ayan. Okay, exciting po ito. Okay, so kung nandun na po tayong lahat, yan, punta na po tayo doon. Can you see the Padlet na po on my screen? Sa nakashare? Nakikita po ba? Ayan. So as you can see on the Padlet, although I'm going to talk about my startup journey, I also want to know about your journey. Okay, so we want this session to be inspirational as well. Okay, so before we start, we want to know about you and your favorite quote or your personal mantra. Okay, so how can we do that? Just click po the plus sign button. Okay po, so click po natin yan. Tapos, what we can add here, we can add po our picture. Ayan, so everyone, mag-a-add tayo ng picture dito. Let's take a photo. Okay, so individual po yan. So ako, i-allow ko siya, tapos magpipicture po ako. Ayan, so ganito. Okay. Tapos, for the caption, let's put our name po para makilala po namin kayo. So ako po si Giselle. And go Jez or Jezzy. Ayan. So once na that's done, you can put your mantra or your quote as a subject. So for me, my favorite quote is, you cannot make a change while being like everybody else. Okay, so that is my personal mantra or favorite quote. Now I'm going to publish that and I'm looking forward to your entries as well. Okay, so try po natin. Pwede din po siya sa phone. Oh, Ma'am Lizelle said, learning has no age limit. Okay, that's nice. Jade said, appreciation comes with progress. Yun yung ating mga personal mantra, ano? For me, why I said you cannot make a change while being like everybody else. In this world, we are all unique. And in this world, when you are your own self, that's where you can give a space for you to leave an impact. So later on, we'll see how true is that. Kung totoo nga ba talaga yun. But for others, may nagsabi po na small progress is still a progress. Tama. Especially what we're doing in Taraki, as said a while back, that is the consortium. It's like a central hub. Everyone's from startups, from academies, from the LGUs, from the government agencies, they are all part of it. So we started out small, and that's the truth. Last year lang po kami nag-start, but as time goes by, we started out small, pero yung impact niya, it became bigger and bigger and bigger. And now we're here with the ICT. So that is like a short glimpse of our story. Ma'am Kat said, do it for the future, with a really pretty picture right there. Ayan. So thank you for those mantras and for those quotes. Someone said, seek discomfort. That is also true. When you're starting with your ideas, with startups, you are going to start with a lot of hurdles. Okay? Hindi siya magiging, alam niyo yun, magiging boom agad. Hindi siya babenta agad. Someone said, I am woman, I am fearless. Yung kanta. Ayan, thank you so much po. Thank you so much po for the picture and for that mantra. Aubrey said, do what you like and love what you do. That is so nice. And I hope that your quotes and your mantras will really be the guide that you will uphold, especially when you want to make a change. Okay, so those are really good quotes and mantras, but now I want to know about your interests. Okay, so what you can do for the interest part is you can actually add a GIF with this one. So you can click the three dots right here and you can click GIF. For me, one of my interests would be the startups. So let's see what GIFs are there. And then click the arrow so that you can see your choices. Okay, so for me, my interest would be the startups. So I'm just going to find a GIF about startups. Okay, so maybe I will pick this one. This is business. Because in startup, whenever you are interacting with others, it's always going to be about business. You have to make something at the end of the day. So I'm going to publish that. So that's my interest. What about for you guys? What are your interests? Okay. So someone said money. I guess that's all our interest right now. Money, diba? Okay. But you know what? Even though my interest is about startup, I started out not having that interest. Actually, I graduated with a bachelor in elementary education. So that's kind of far from where I am right now, what I'm doing right now with startups, with business, with pitches. It's kind of different. So you see, in life, you might have an interest right now, but it may take you to somewhere further. Okay? And it may change from time to time. And that's what happened to me. So someone said this person likes to travel. Oh, someone is a programmer or a coder. Someone just wants to get their life together. Okay, I felt that. And someone said they are volunteering as tributes with the Hunger Games, and others with the money, others with electronics, robotics. That's nice. And others really like drawing. Okay, so others want artificial intelligence. That's a really interesting theme right now. Others really like draw or playing games. Yeah, that's playing console games. National security. So we have different interests in life, and those interests are what makes us bolder all throughout our journey. Okay, so others want a lot of power. Nice. So those are really good interests. And now with those interests, what then are your milestones in life? Okay, so let's see, what are your milestones naman? Okay, so continuing with my story, I started out with a dream of becoming a teacher. Then how did I end up with startups? I joined a global competition, or before that, I joined an exchange program. So from that exchange program, at the end of the day, you have to pitch your idea, your project. And that's when I love the adrenaline of making your ideas be known to others. And from that moment, we won the best idea for that batch. So from that, I thought, do I really want to pursue it? And then biglaan na lang merong call ulit for another competition. That was the global competition that I was talking about. It was the Holt Prize, and we were included in the top 3 of the school competition. Tas after nun, nakapunta kami sa regional, and then we've met lots of entrepreneurs, lots of startup founders from different countries. Kaya, dun ko nasabi, eto na ata yung calling ko. I really, really love startups and also empowering women. So that's my milestone. So maybe I can put right here, my milestone is just like this person who has posted this, her current role, training and equipping women for the digital economy. So I guess for my milestone naman is becoming a startup community enabler and also making a change. So I guess with this voice, I hope that I have made a change. So becoming a startup community enabler. So what about for the others? What are your milestones in life? So pwede ninyong ilagay kung ano yung mga milestones ninyo. Even the baby steps, yung mga smallest na milestones ninyo. Oh, someone said that person also wants to become a teacher. Wow, parang medyo nakarelate ako doon ah. Sino ang nagsabi nito? Can we see her or his raise of hand? Can I see that? Can I see? From the Zoom participants? Hello po. Ayan. Nahihiya siguro sila. Mag-unmute. Okay. So for the others, being a student, that is a milestone. Yes, you're going to have lots of new knowledge by becoming a student. Someone said, overcoming great life uncertainties. Oo, yun yung part ng ating life. And, overcoming them and solving those problems, that's a milestone. Okay, so just keep your milestones going. You can put your favorite memories in this section. Okay. So far, may question ba kayo about sa kung paano ako nag-end up sa Taraki? And so I guess another milestone for Taraki is it becoming the lead for the regional Inclusive Innovation Center. So that's called the Attract. So what we do in Attract naman is it's like a virtual space wherein MSMEs, also startups, they can go to, and if ever they need help, we help them out. So that is a partnership naman with DTI, with the ICT, ayan, with the OST, and also with TESTA and others. Kaya if ever you need help, there's Attract, there's Taraki. Okay, another thing that's really interesting here is this one. To stay positive and vibrant every day. So, syempre, di ba, every day, if you have survived it, that's already a milestone. That's so true. Okay, so thank you for those milestones. Napunta naman tayo sa passion natin. Okay, so again, continuing with my story. So from yung global competition, from knowing others, I guess I have realized that my passion is networking and empowering others. Alam nyo, doon sa global competition na yon, most of the startups na naging winners ay mga lalaki ang founders. So from then on, I want to really be a voice for women. Yan. So I also want to empower women. So I want to put that as my passion. And not just women, I want everyone. So empowering others. I guess that was my calling that I also found out from my journey. There's someone who said creating impact for women in the Philippines, bridging women in the digital economy. That's so nice. May I know who posted this passion po? Can you please raise your hand? Can you please raise your hand po? The person who posted this. Ayan. Ma'am Lizelle, can you unmute your mic? And can you please say to us, how did you find out that that was your passion? What was your story as well?
I think I'm gonna tell more about it later. So, but
Spoiler.
Yes po.
I'm with Connected Women, so I've been with them for 4 years. So, but I'll give a little more background later. But ever since I've been with them, it's been empowering, and we've been learning a lot at the same time. So that's why when I go back to my mantra, that you're never too old to learn. It's really something that I practice, and it's evident in what I'm doing. So yeah, thank you.
So nice po. Thank you so much for that sharing, Ma'am Lizelle. And ayun, meron na tayong teaser and something to look forward to later. Okay, so everyone, let's keep the energy going and let's enjoy the whole session. Okay, so thank you again, Ma'am Lizelle, and looking forward to knowing more. Bakit yun po yung naging passion ninyo? Okay, for others, they said helping others learn. Ayan. So, how did you find out that you want to help others learn? Who said this naman po? Can we know po and hear from them? Can you raise your hand din po? The virtual hand po. Yan. So, I guess wala, nahihiya po ata sila. Yan.
Nahihiya sila, ano, ma'am.
Oo nga,
Yes.
nahihiya po sila. Yan. So, I guess that's also a good passion, and for others to help the needy the best that I can offer, give word of thoughts, share experiences, put oneself towards other shoes. That's empathy, yes. Always advise to believe the Almighty God's power and mercy and to protect countrymen against abusive folks, especially the women. Yes, diba? So that is a really great passion, and thank you for sharing that beautiful expression. Someone said practicing pro-environmental behavior and empowering other people regarding our environment. So may I know naman po who said this one to share more about this passion naman po? Okay, so can I see a raise of hand? Or nahihiya talaga sila? Nahihiya po ata sila. Ayan. So, kayo po ba yun, Ma'am Marge? Or iba po? Ayan. So, baka iba. Ayan. So, si Jade yun. Jade, can you share more about that passion? Paano mo na-find out na yun pala yung passion mo? You can unmute your mic. Ayan. Oh, hindi marinig yung words. Ayan. So you can unmute your mic, Jade, and talk more about it. I may chat. I
Wala
know
din
mic
mic,
daw.
ma'am.
No mic. Okay. So your posts can speak for it na lang. Ayan. So thank you, Jade, for expressing that passion. Oo, di ba? So we have lots of passion. And sometimes creative ideas can burst from those passions. Okay? And for the last one, may nagsabi na to help others believe in themselves. That is a really great passion. And I hope that that person who posted that to this section, we can hear his or her voice later on. Ayan. So, yun yung mga passion ninyo. Now, with those passions naman, okay, let's go to the next section. What do you want to change in the world? Okay, now I have read all of those passions. Some are environmental, like they are environmental, pro-environmental behavior. They practice that one. For others, they impact women. And now, what do you want then to do? So this is like more specific and yung mas maliit na parang more possible, realistic na pwede mong baguhin sa mundo. Someone said, bring more women and girls in tech and STEM. Pwede po bang mag-share yung nag-post dito more about this one? Pwede pong pa-raise ng hand kung sino po iyon. Okay. So, sino po ang nag-share nun? Bring more women. Okay. So, sino po? Nahihiya talaga sila. Ayan. Sabi po, si Ma'am Lizelle po ulit yun. Ma'am Lizelle, plus A po kayo. Ayan. What about po for the others? Okay, someone said women should be more dynamic in the society and mentally strong. Yeah, that is so true. Actually, in Taraki, most of the members are women. That's what we have observed. Especially when we have events, madalas na mas marami talaga ang babae. So I guess that's what we also want to change in the startup ecosystem kasi before, most of them are men. Pero right now in our consortium in Cordillera, most of the members are women. And with our future activities, with our future initiatives, we are hoping now we can create a louder voice for women. Okay, someone said, greater collaboration and knowledge sharing in the tech industry. That is so nice. Yeah. To educate people that it is not late to study and learn new things to achieve their dreams. Tama. That is true. Kasi, you know, right now we are like in our 20s, in our 30s, but we can do more. Okay? It's never too late to make a change. Okay? And if we have the ability to empower others to make that change, then we have to start within ourselves. I guess that's what also I realized in my whole journey. Na I wanted to make lots of changes. But how can I also empower others if I'm not going to start off with myself first? So, yeah, I hope that with this program, with this event of the ICT, that can give us a clearer goal of what we want. Okay, so for the others, greater collaboration. Yeah, and in Teraki, you know, we always say wherever we go, we thrive. That's why whoever we meet, as much as possible, we want to collaborate with them as well. So thank you po for those insights. Thank you so much. Now, gusto ko po sigurong, ayan tulad nga po ng sabi ni Ma'am Lizelle, let's give others a chance to share. So, gusto ko rin po sigurong marinig yung nag-share ng ito, equality and respect for all genders leads to a better community. Ayan. Sino po yung naglagay po ng insight na ito? Can I see a raise of hand po? Yan. A raise of hand. Tulad po nung nakikita niyo dito. Yung mag-share my prize. Hindi ko pwedeng sabihin plus points. Kasi hindi ako yung advisor nyo, pero may prize siya kapag nag-share kayo. Yan. So, sino po? Yung naglagay nito. Equality and respect. Yan. Pakita naman po ng raise of hand dyan. Ala, nahihiya talaga sila. Ayaw nilang i-share yung insights nila. Ayan. So, legit po yun legit po yung prize po. May nag-chat po. Ayan. Again, for everyone, you can join po the Padlet activity via the link na na-plug po sa ating chat box. Okay. So, we always talk about equality, and respect. And not just for women, but for everyone sana. Yan. And not just equality. Syempre meron din dyan yung equity, yung justice for everyone. To be honest, there are things that I cannot do that my brother can do. So it's also great to collaborate with everyone, having the same respect as we have for ourselves. So I guess that's also another insight na na-realize ko. Last year, we had a regional caravan with the ICT, with the OST, with DTI, and with the support of NEDA. And one thing I realized, kasi most of us were women, kailangan talaga din ng tulong from the others. Kasi there are things that we cannot do and they can. Yan. So we need equity. Yan. But equality in terms of respect. Okay? So, okay. Pero realizing that it doesn't mean now we are inferior than the others. That actually means now we are real strong. Yeah. So now I guess let's move on to the last part. Okay. Now, what can you do to leave an impact in this world? Alam ko na we're dreaming big, pero if we can dream big na, then diba, how much more when we think about what we can do now as an individual in our region, in our city, in our community. Okay, someone said, be me. Wow. That's a really strong and concise expression. May I know po kung sino po yung nagsabi nun? Baka si Ma'am Lizal to. Ma'am Lizal, kayo po ba yung nagsabi nitong be me?
No, sorry.
Iba po, iba. Ayan. So, sino po yung nagsabi ng be me? I really love that. I really love that. Si Ma'am G ba? Ay, hindi. Sino kaya? Ayan. You can raise your hands po. Okay. Hala, nahihiya talaga sila. Ayun, si Andre. Hello, Andre. So, why did you say be me? You can unmute your mic, Andre. Andre. Hello, Andre. Hala, nawala si Andre. Okay. So I guess there are more. Sabi nila, be kind. Okay. Yes, kindness. That's a simple thing to do. Like, it's easy, but it can impact a greater mass of people. Diba? And it's also, alam nyo, nakakahawa yung kindness. So that's a really good way to impact the world. For others, stand firm and be courageous despite the uncertainties. Yeah, the world right now has lots of uncertainties and problems. Pero when we stand firm and if we do not give up, then we can impact the world. Continue working with connected women. I guess ito na kay Ma'am Lizelle. Ayan. So, yes, diba? if we can network with the other women, if we can empower them, then that can create the best impact. Others said, I should be one of those highly educated people so that I can be able to raise a louder advocacy in protecting rights, especially to women. Tama. So, sabi nga nila, di ba, yung knowledge is power. So, if you are knowledgeable about something, then you can make a change. Change maker to live better. That's a really great insight as well. Okay, so meron na ba ulit si Andre dito?
Nag-chat
Ayan,
siya, ma'am.
Ay,
Nag-chat siya ng
nag-chat siya.
kanyang sagot.
Sabi niya, I think po na there's enough of everybody else. Sorry po, naka-data. At dahil dyan, Andre, meron kang data later. Ayan. Thank you for sharing, Andre. Tama, we can offer lots of different things that others cannot offer. So in that way, we can also impact the world. Now, going back to the story, ayan, how did Taraki and Attract can impact you guys who attended this session? Of course, we are offering also help to make your ideas become reality. We can connect you to others whom you can collaborate with, and also we can help you out. We can mentor you, and if you are a woman, of course, meron kaming free kape sa office. Yan. And we really want you to be engaged in the startup ecosystem. Kasi in Taraki, our aim also is to strengthen the startup ecosystem of our region. And also with Attract, the Regional Inclusive Innovation Center. And I hope that the things that you have put here, dito sa ating Padlet kanina, you can live up to that. Hindi lang siya magiging idea, kung hindi, it'll become a reality. So I hope that for the rest of this event, you will enjoy it and you will get more insights with our next speakers. And just a summary again, what is a startup? A startup is a project, it is disruptive, and it is feasible. Now, what is my startup journey? I became lost. I experienced lots of things. But at the end of the day, here I am talking with you guys. And what you can do, like what you've said from the Padlet, you can create an impact in our world. And with that, I hope that you will all keep in touch with us. We have our social media sites here. And also, the link will be posted sa messages sa ating chat. Ayan. So I hope that you have enjoyed our session, our short session. And with that, thank you again, everyone. And I'll see you on the other side, definitely. Back to you, G.
So thank you so much, Jez, for that sharing. Alam mo, it's really inspiring, no, to see kung paano ka nag-start. You know, we've known each other actually last year lang namin nakilala ang Taraki. And of course, with Taraki, we had yung kaninang nabanggit niya yung regional caravan. So naging malaki yung role ng Taraki or yung group nila Miss Jez sa advocacy namin on startup. So we are really grateful and inspired dun sa iyong story. So if you have questions to Miss Jez, you can chat it na po, and we will have a Q&A portion later po after nung ating mga other speaker. So again, thank you, Jez, for that. Wait lang. Sharing of your journey as a startup enabler. So, siguro okay pa po tayo nasa in the zone pa po tayo ng ating activity for this afternoon. So, we will move on na po to our next speaker. So, kanina we are able to get to know more about yung mga support that we can get sa industry other than, of course, the ICT, the OST, DTI. We also have yung Taraki na nagsusupport here sa ating region. So we are now going to listen to our second speaker, Miss Paula Bayaw. So she is an industrial engineer. She is a graduate of industrial engineering from the St. Louis University and is the co-founder of the Baguio-based startup Hey Success Virtual Assistant Services, or HSVAS, or Hey Success. They provide consultancy and professional services to international and local small businesses to help them grow their business with working with a virtual assistant. So as a freelance industrial engineer, she is able to work as a virtual assistant, project and operations manager with diverse teams in different online industry. Also, she is the lead for the project Puldia. I hope I pronounced that correctly, wherein they deliver upskilling training to job seekers in the Bliss communities to be empowered as an e-entrepreneur. So let us give a virtual round of applause again to our second speaker, Miss Paula Baya. So hello po, Miss Paula. You can start now.
Hold on. Hi, everybody. I'm not prepared, to be honest. I really love, Giselle, your presentation, and really, I've been working with Giselle for quite some time now, and it's my first time to hear her story on how she became a startup enabler. Hopefully, I'm not prepared, but I'm going to share to you a simple presentation on how we started our startup, and hopefully you learn from our experiences. And i-share ko lang ng kaunti yung simple presentation. Sorry, I'm not prepared talaga.
It's okay, ma'am.
Okay.
No problem.
All right. So, ever since we start up our startup, we believe in training. Because training, especially for us here in the Cordillera, education is very, very important. So we training for an impact. And we've doing this since 2019. I'm not sure. It's time flies by. Ang bilis. Okay. Hold on. I started when it started 2019. So we decided to say, hey, I would like to leave my 9-to-5 job and find somewhere, become a full-time freelancer. And that's where we went to Palawan to have a little bit soul searching, and we meet different people. And while in Palawan, let's say, okay, there's an opportunity here. Before, virtual assistant is not well known. It's just a starting industry. So okay, the one thing that triggers us is that we can work anywhere. So 2019, that's our story. Then pandemic. Then the same year, there is an opportunity from UNDP. We applied from UNDP. At that moment, hindi pa namin alam yung mga incubation, yung mga pitching, yung mga ganun na mga activities. Because most of those activities are focused in the metros. Not in Baguio, even though majority of these activities are in the Metro Manila. So we are lucky that our proposal got accepted. So we started from there and we try our luck. From there, we meet different people, and we meet also there. We were able to be introduced sa mga ganitong activity, that there is an activity that helps start up or some people that are starting their business to help them grow. And so the beginning was, we were able to, my co-founder is Kathleen Sayawan. So we went there, present our pitch. And luckily we were, they're going to get top 5, but we are top 6. So they decided to, okay, let us join you to the incubation program. That was Youth Collab, wherein we learn more about incubation, startup, and so on. Then further, we were able to further utilize our ideas through different programs and enablers. One is Miriam College Technology Business Incubator. So the other one is Taraki Car. So we also reached out to Taraki Car of course, we also have our different clients. Our idea will not fly without our paying clients. Then we also have different collaborators like Break the Fake movement for the misinformation and disinformation, and of course the different technology partners. With all those enablers and collaborators that we have, we are able to develop further and iterate our business. Yan. So from initial 2, we are now 2, 4, 6, almost 10, but more than 10. But when we started our startup, we started with 2. We are only 2 back then. The good thing here is maybe timing is the key also, because 2019 we tried to introduce the idea of doing your business online. However, most of the businesses locally doesn't understand that and did not cater to our pitch. But 2020, when pandemic hits, yun yung nagkaroon kami ng opportunity, because most of the small businesses has the idea na, okay, we need to cut cost, and there is opportunity na outsource it to someone, virtual assistant from the Philippines. That is, we took that opportunity and grow our startup, but also the quality of the people that we're working with, because most of our clients are from referrals. So network is very, very important too. Timing and network and working with people within the same advocacy is very, very helpful too. We know that the internet age introduced a lot of people, ideas, but you need to filter in. You need to align yourself to the same advocacy that you're looking for and your why. Kasi in the end of the day, going to be your guiding point. For us, ang aming guiding point is, we have our local dialect na saying, adimbu ko din ng gawis. And this has been our guiding since we started. What does it mean? Share your blessings. So, we use this as our guiding ever since, because, and especially when we built our startup, we are looking at, there are many challenges here in the locality. Number 1, we are still in the traditional industries. When we try to introduce the internet or the potential e-commerce to 2019 pa yun, they didn't accept that idea. And we are still being paid per day, meaning puldiya, pay per day's labor, but we would like it to be a positive term when we say, let's work as a virtual assistant. It means that it's something that is sustainable and that can support your life, your needs, especially when you have a family. Then, of course, the thing also here is that here in the locality, we are freelancers by nature, because if you are going to work with local IPs, they prefer to be self-employed. That's why they are more into the mining, dangerous labor works, mining, the gardening with all the chemicals and so on. But with freelancing, you also provide an alternative livelihood for them. And of course, the lack of skills needed to join the digital economy. So, isisip namin, why not provide trainings and of course an opportunity to upskill and be reskilled, then be matched with opportunity out there. This is most of the challenges we have faced since pandemic. That's why we decided to formally formalize our enterprise, and also continue with our project. So we name our project Project Puldia, with the word Puldia, paper day, but with a more positive meaning. So Project Puldia by Hey Success means we aim to empower and strengthen our IP communities to become a participant in the digital economy by providing them the training that they needed for upskilling and reskilling, and provide them also the digital readiness, the network to start an online business as a virtual assistant. So we envision that the people that we're working with will become from job seeker, they become an entrepreneur or their own business. So okay, success is here. We are here to upskill job seeker from Filipino communities to become an entrepreneur. But we are starting with our own locality and working with our own IP communities because we ourselves belongs to the IP community. And something that, close to heart. We've been there. We've seen the struggle. And now the internet is changing the game. So let's take the opportunity. So but within 5 years, we are aiming to at least empower 10,000 Filipinos. That's a scary target for us, but it's going to be fun. And so we already started for this year. We already went around the local government LGU level, providing trainings and information dissemination about misinformation and disinformation, and also the opportunity of digital economy. So this is also in alignment of the advocacy of the DICT. Of course, DICT and us from the private area will work together kasi we also have the support from the DICT because they also give us meron rin sila mga training na rin refer sa amin. And aside from that, we also supplement kasi syempre with the limited resources of the government and us in the private areas, we really need to work together. So yeah. So right now, we are growing our Project Poldia. So there is a cycle that we're following is that be informed. These are the information dissemination that we're doing, the pictures that you've seen. We have a formal training already. So we have different training framework that we're following. And we also help niche down the virtual assistant into the service that they would like to provide. One here is remote bookkeeping. That's our specialty. Then also we help them if it's not within the area or the specialization that we're working with, because we would like that when these natapos sila sa amin in terms of training to become a virtual assistant, they are able to find an opportunity opportunity to work in the digital economy or digital space na hindi sila mahirapan because it's in alignment to what they've trained for. Then, of course, we'll keep continue with mentoring and coaching until they are able to stand on their own. Hindi naman sa pagiging, kasi virtual assistant, and may question kasi before sa akin okay, if that's your model, diba? Then you're creating your competitors. The answer there is that we're not creating competitors, but we're creating an impact to the lives of the people that we're working with. Because the market is global. So sky's the limit. It's the only thing here is that it's how you market and how you sell your services. And paano tayo magkakaroon ng something, it's an ecosystem na magtutulungan tayo if we're not going to help each other. And if we see each other as a competitor always, not as a collaborator or not as a community. So that's how we're going to work with the people that we're working with. Also, we created a community. It's the VA network. We have the Facebook group, the Cordillera Digital Professionals, wherein we post our openings there. We also registered para ma-formalize na yung association. They called it Online Poldia Association. The team called that one, it's OPA. So what we do here is the continuous so that we can formalize yung trainings namin and we can offer it to those people who really need it. Yeah. So right now we were granted by DOST pressured. So ito rin yung mga enablers from the different governments. So if you have a startup and you are I think operating more than a year, you can qualify for different programs under the DOST and help. They're going to help you. Depends on the need of your startup. They can provide assistance for us, we are under WISE. So we are women helping women, meaning we are working with the community and helping the community through the training programs we are delivering as a startup. And then, okay, how are you going to impact more? Well, join us. I know it's going to be a little bit tricky. Join us with the advocacy. If you are interested to becoming a virtual assistant, just message us or contact us via our Facebook. And of course, let's empower our Filipino communities, especially the IT communities here in the Cordillera, so that as we move forward to the digital age or digitization, the industry 4.0, we are not left behind because we, to be honest, here in the Cordillera, we are still in the traditional industries. We need to upskill because if we're not going to upskill, we've seen a lot of changes through the past years here in Baguio. For example, the handiworks, when there is what they call this, the sickness there, and we are so dependent with the tourism, then tourists, when the tourists are gone, the livelihood vanished. So, kailangan po natin magtulungan to empower the Filipino communities, ensuring that no one is left behind as we move forward. You can connect with us via this. You can screenshot if you would like. And if you have questions of becoming a virtual assistant or you're interested in joining us, please feel free to message. Ayan. Pasensya na at hindi ako prepared. But we can open the floor for questions or yeah.
Okay lang naman, Ma'am Paula. Parang hindi na, I prepared naman kayo, Ma'am. Hindi naman siya, ano. So, thank you so much. Okay na po na, Ma'am. You're finished with the, ano na po.
Yes.
Okay. So, thank you so much po for sharing your journey with Hey Success and of course, yung Project Puldia. Actually, it's the first time din po na narinig namin yung Project Puldia po na yan, no? Actually, na-meet din namin actually si Ma'am Paula dun sa event din nila Jez dun sa UC and we saw na we can, of course, as a woman founder, we can highlight you po since it's Women's Month nga po. So one of the things
Yes.
na talagang tumatak dun sa mga sinabi niyo, Ma'am, kanina is of course yung importance po of collaboration and of course timing. So sa DICT, of course, we see yung collaboration as one of the key para maging successful yung mga activities namin and of course yung support namin sa startup. Rest assured, Ma'am Paula, na if ever you have collaboration with DICT, hindi lang through IIDB but as DICT nga po, we provide din trainings. So open po kami for collaboration. So baka next time mag-offer kami ng trainings kasama na namin sila, Ma'am Paula. So ayan, kami.
Thank you. Let's see.
Yes, ma'am. So again, thank you po, Ma'am Paula. If you have questions po, you can chat po sa ating chat box later. We will have a Q&A session naman po. Or you can message po Miss Paula kung gusto niyo pong direct na makipag-usap po with her regarding yung kanilang startup. So with that po, let me move my... Ayan. So before we move on po pala sa ating last and final speaker po, unfortunately, we were not able to invite po yung ating pang-apat na speaker. Baka may other po siya, other important event na kanyang attendan po daw this afternoon. So again, ano na lang po yung ating attendance form na na-send po sa link. Ayan. So moving on po with our last and final speaker, we have Miss Lizelle Dunuan po from the Connected Women. So currently po, she is the program manager for Connected Women. She helps organizations and institutions put together programs and projects from design to implementation to assessment. She also specializes in communications planning and implementation. For her, communication is key. In her 20 or so years working in NGO or development sector, she has seen how important and crucial it is to get one's message across and how communication breakdown at whatever level can affect project outcomes. So let us give again a virtual round of applause to our last speaker, Miss Lizelle Dunuan. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon. So let me quickly share my screen. Thank you so much for the ICT car for inviting us, inviting connected women to share what we can about our own startup. And I know that I'll also be sharing my own journey on how I came into this space. And also at the same time share with you what we do at Connected Women. I'm just making sure I'm sharing sound because I have a quick video that I will show you. Can you see my screen?
Yes po, ma'am.
Currently, okay. So let me do a slideshow. If it will work, okay. Okay, so so Connected Women, I'll start off with introducing what we do at Connected Women. So our tagline is bringing opportunities home, and by we by using the word home, this is both is very literal, meaning bringing opportunities to women so that they can work from home. And the opportunities that we are trying to bring to women is in the space of artificial intelligence and this digital task outsourcing. So, and we are trying to bring these economic opportunities to women so that they can do this in the comforts of their own homes. So, when we started out, when Connected Women started out, one of the things that we were looking at was how big the number of women are who are not in the workforce, and they are not in the workforce mainly because they are not in the workforce because they cannot work or they do not have the skills to work. They are, some of them or most of them are actually out of the workforce because they do not have opportunities to for jobs, and they also they also eventually decide to stop working because they have family commitments. So this can be raising, giving up work so that they can raise their children, giving up work so they can take care of elderly parents or other members of the family who are sick or need to be taken care of. So that's 5 million women. And in fact, it's more than that because there are 2 million more women who are currently working but are not but are underemployed, meaning their skills are not and their potential is not maximized. So, and we also see that how women are, for the longest time, for decades in fact, how women have been forced to work outside of the country, leaving their families, and all in the name of trying to feed their families and also give their children proper schooling. The impact of women leaving their homes, of course, is very big, and it's not just on the family itself but also on society. So, and we wanted to see how we can change that. So that is why the emphasis on bringing opportunities to these women so that they can do this in their own homes without leaving their families and without sacrificing or choosing between a career and a family. So the other side of the coin is that we are currently facing a talent crisis. And this is mainly due to the fact that the artificial intelligence industry is growing very, very fast. In 2022, the global artificial intelligence industry market size was valued at US as 136.6 billion US dollars. And that is expected to increase all the more in this year and in the coming years. So imagine having a slice of that pie, no? And being able to equip our women so that they can take part of such a big industry, and an industry that has a big potential to skyrocket in terms of market size and also, income. So malaki yung opportunities. But so the question then is, how do we bring women into this artificial intelligence space? So when Connected Women started out, we were this was in 2017. Our initial idea was to match virtual assistants who are Filipino women virtual assistants, with the global entrepreneurs market. That was our first product, so to speak, as a startup. However, there was a shift that we needed to make, and this is mainly due to the impact of the pandemic. The impact of the pandemic was not on the virtual assistants themselves, but were on the entrepreneurs, the global entrepreneurs. So therefore, during the pandemic, there were lesser opportunities for virtual assistants to get work from entrepreneurs, because the entrepreneurs were also struggling, during that time. So we needed to make that shift, and the shift was based on our realization that there's this growing industry, which is artificial intelligence industry, particularly the industry, the part of the AI industry which still allowed human intervention. Kasi when you talk about artificial intelligence, it's not just we always the first thing that comes to our mind when we talk about AI is machines, robots, no? But before a machine learns, there are humans who process the data, and this particular data is the one that is fed into these machines so that they can learn, and they can make intelligent decisions, no? And function as programmed. So data annotation is where this all comes in. And so we launched the Elevate IDA, or in short, that means Artificial Intelligence Data Annotation Program. We launched it at the height of the pandemic in June 2020. We partnered with the United Nations Women's We Empower Asia program that then was funded by the European Union. And what we wanted to do was to identify a high growth market. We already knew that was the AI industry, and to leverage a proven business model, and of course prepare the ladies for market aligned skills, because we mainly work with women, and then bring these women into technology at scale. So, and at the end of it, for those that we've trained, is to provide them with opportunities to work remotely in the AI space. So the opportunity that we are looking at is the data collection and labeling market, which is just a very small part of the bigger AI industry. It's projected to reach US dollar $6 billion by 2027. So maliit na part lang siya ng 136, but it's still $6 billion US dollars, no? So it's that big, and it's growing. And it's not just the Philippines. In fact, India is way ahead of us in this regard. But of course, that shouldn't stop us, because we are working towards, making an impact on the women that we work with. So in Connected Women, we have the following priority segments. And coming out of it, because it's a program that came out in the pandemic, we were very specific about targeting those that have no formal education. We are only looking at high school graduates, minimum. So and then mothers who stayed at home for one reason or another. They did stop working because they needed to take care of their kids. Single parents, single mothers, working students who may not have an opportunity to work or need to work so that they can supplement their studies. Differently abled people, PWDs, COVID displaced workers, because there were a lot of those coming when the quarantine happened. Senior citizens, home helpers, overseas workers who are looking for a chance to come back home and not continue working outside of the country, and of course housewives, those who had. So it's a mix of all of these priority segments we are trying to target in this program. So the program is a training program, and one of the first funders we've had, or of course UN Women, Sanofi, also funded several batches of scholars, SMART, and we have to always remember that one of the first LGUs to fund a batch of women that to train is the local government unit of Isabela City, Basilan. So let me share with you a video of some of the our hold on. So some of our beneficiaries and also our partners. So let me know please if you can hear the audio. I'm playing it now.
Wala pong audio yung...
Wala, mahina
opo.
yung wait lang.
Yes po.
Sorry. I have audio pero let me see. Audio pero yung pala. Kaya pala kasi mahina yung sorry. Let me adjust this first. I hope it's better. Wait.
So, kunyari, itong image na to, itong picture na to, so i-identify nito ng data labeler na ito, kotse.
Yung consistency in your work, consistency in how whether you're doing excellent work, no? Kasama yan.
I think women know this, no? That as much as we are in a situation na andito kami sa malayong probinsya ng Basilan, we have always been considered as marginalized, no? Laging napag-iiwanan. But at the same time, we also want people and the world to know na we have so much. We want to graduate from being mere beneficiaries. We want to be not just recipients of any economic development, but contributors. Lalong-lalo na ho yung mga kababaihan. We are really investing in our women kasi alam namin pag nag-invest tayo sa kababaihan, buong pamilya ang makikinabang, buong komunidad ang makikinabang. So thank you so much, and looking forward to more projects and programs with Connected Women. Congratulations sa ating mga kababaihan.
Being single mom, we can able to work at home. Thank you din talaga sa opportunity na naging kabilang kami sa Connected Women.
Nabawasan yung yung stress ko. Hindi ko masyadong naisip yung problema kasi busy ako sa ginagawa ko, nalilibang ako. At the same time, pwede kang kumita, makakatulong din sa family ko.
When I first heard about Connected Women, something immediately resonated with me. The idea of helping women find livelihood, and not just any livelihood, but something that's a little further up the value chain. It just struck a chord, and it just made me determined to help, because I've always believed that women are the backbone of our society, and that if we help them, we help everyone.
How are you today?
Guys, nagpapasalamat po ako sa Connected Woman. Tapos sa opportunity binigay nila sa akin, syempre bilang stroke survivor, hindi po madaling maghanap ng work sa labas. Kailangan stable na work. Tapos, kasi for example, dito po sa amin yung mga kasama ko is 18 years old na. Tapos sila pong lahat is may work na. So sabi ko, gusto ko rin mag-work. Pero nag-aano sa akin na yung situation kung ganito, may tatanggap ba sa akin? Sabi ko. So nagpapasalamat po ako sa Connected Women na yung mga kagaya namin is hindi nila dinidiscriminate.
I was informed that the enthusiasm and the commitment is very high, and we are very pleased from the UN Women side to really hear at least your stories of now, how you see and how you are anticipating what could change because of this training that you have attended.
Okay, so those are just a few of the partners and also the beneficiaries. If we have time later, I can share with you another video naman of some of the women that have already worked in our projects. So, but now let me shift to, so basically that's my organizational background. I'm currently head of resource management at Connected Women, and I help in recruiting and selection of the women so that they can work in the projects that we have with our clients. So my personal journey in technology, you'll be surprised actually to find out that I do not have technology in my background. I'm a graduate of mass communication. I majored in journalism in UP Diliman. I'm a practicing writer. Since I can remember, mahilig ako magsulat. And I have a very strong interest in the social sciences and humanity. So you can see, you'll probably wonder why I'm in this space and how I came into this space. No? So even before I joined Connected Women, I was already I've had experience in managing programs. I worked with a non-government organization prior to Connected Women, and that's where I honed my program management and implementation skills. So, and then I've always considered myself as somebody who does a lot of out of the box thinking, and not to be too limited by what others think or what the others dictate something to be, you know. And as I shared earlier in the sharing with the talk of Giselle, I'm a believer in lifelong learning. I'm a believer and I'm a practitioner of lifelong learning. I wouldn't be in this space if I wasn't. And I also have a growth mindset. So whatever it is I do, whether I fail or I succeed, I always make sure that I learn from it. So that's important. So my early professional life, after I graduated, I focused in communications and media work for nonprofits. But my longest professional involvement, which was 13 years, I worked with, this was the time that I was exposed to technology, ICTs, particularly the use of ICTs in education. Wala pang DICT noon. DICT pa was I still remember DICT as CICT. And then even before that, DOST, ICTO. So that's how far that involvement is. But that was the time when I was working with a non-government organization, and we were looking at the use of technology in education and improving elementary and secondary education. So, and then also, I also had a glimpse of how ICT can have an impact on society and development. No? And then in between, I still continue, and I still continued working as a freelance. And then I mainly did, again, writing, and I did a lot of feature and technical writing. So I'm I was and I've always will be a freelance writer and consultant. So those are the things. I joined Connected Women in 2018. This was after and incidentally, I moved to Baguio in 2014. I used to be based in Manila, but I moved to Baguio and decided to raise my kids here. So I've been here and I'm adopted. Well, actually, I'm a Baguio citizen. Talagang registered na ako, in other words. So I've been enjoying every, comparing it to Metro Manila, Baguio is definitely a better place to live in and work in. Anyway, so I joined the Connected Women team in 2018, and I was already here based in Baguio. But however, the Connected Women team, incidentally, is a fully remote team. No, our CEO is based in Parañaque, and our founders are based in the south of Manila as well. We have members of the team who are in Tagaytay, Bacolod, Aklan. So we're all over, and we don't have a physical office. So ours is a fully remote team. I started out in programs and training in Connected Women, and then shifted to data labeling, the technical side of it, data labeling and data labeling operations around 2020, and later on became head of workforce development, and currently I'm head of resource management. So if you can see, the reason why my not having a tech background suits my current role is because my current role does not really require me to, to know about the ins and outs of machine learning. It's not part of my role, but I'm still part of the Connected Women AI team, which essentially provides data labeling and data annotation services to companies who are wanting to improve or build their AI and machine learning models. So that's where I come in. So that was how I transitioned, and I think one of the things that helped me adjust, because right now there is a lot of discussion, and we're also there's a lot of exposure to highly technical topics when we of course talk to clients, when we talk to data analysts, data scientists, who are mainly the ones we talk to when we have clients. There's a lot of technical things to learn. However, we do have people who are more technical in our team, and they serve that role, to have some sort of to be able to explain to the rest of the team how something would work. So the role that I have right now is ideal because I'm able to translate what the tech guys need and tell our data annotators, who are also 90%, I would have to say, or even more, coming from non-technical backgrounds as well. I'm able to translate, and bridge that so that we are able to provide the services that our clients need. So what we do is we train. So ito yung aming model. We're a socially responsible outsourcing model. We train, and the training is funded by private and public sector partners. Kasama yung LGUs like Isabela City Basilan, kasama ang private sector like PLDT Smart, Sanofi, Insular Life. We have a lot already. Even right now, we also have a Boitis. And we provide the training for free to the women. And in fact, the women also receive allowances so that they can complete the training. So once the women graduate, they're part of our pool. They're part of our pool. Wherein when we have AI companies asking us to provide services related to data annotation and data cleaning. That's the time when we put together a team coming from our graduates. We train them, we onboard them, and then we bring them into the actual project, which can last from anywhere between 2 days to 3 months. So each person who is part of a pool is given tasks to finish. Of course, they're given training prior to that. And then Connected Women manages that pool so that we ensure that the quality of the work that the women do are up are what the client is expecting, because otherwise this is still it's still a business transaction. No, the client expects us to provide them with outputs that are of the standard that they're expecting us to produce. So we make sure, and we work with our women on that. And at the same time, we provide our annotators a decent wage, and aside from that, we continue to train them on tools that come out that have to do with data annotation, data cleansing, data cleaning. The revenue that Connected Women has, because we are in fact a startup, so the revenue that we have, of course, contributes to the sustainability of and profit, so that we can still continue to train and we can still continue to work for clients. And then as a percentage of that is reinvested into community and social impact. Connected Women also has a big Facebook community. We're now at 40,000, I think. And that's where we also offer other types of training outside of data annotation and artificial intelligence. And that has to do mainly with working with entrepreneurs, business women who want to use technology to boost their business. So that's the other part of what we do. So some of the things that we do, para din lang alam ninyo, we do a lot of language and text annotation. So that this is an example, the one on top. This is an example of a hotel review wherein we, as our data annotation team, is potentially asked to identify which part of the review is positive or negative or neutral, if that's the case, and to identify what the review refers to, because it's not just, it can be something that talks about something very specific that a business is looking at. In this case, you are looking at the value of the money that they're spending, and then the service, and also the check-in process, cleanliness. So these are some of the aspects that a business such as a hotel would look into. So the use case for this would be for hotels to determine what are the common complaints and to do something about it. It's not just about finding out what people are saying about your hotel. It's also doing something so that you can act on common complaints or common things that are raised. So for image and video annotation, this is a bit more technical. It's very different from language annotation. But this requires tools such as QGIS, Quantum GIS, computer vision annotation tool, or CBAT, and the other thing that we use is Label Studio. So all that has to do with creating bounding boxes and drawing bounding boxes of images or video and properly labeling them. So imagine niyo na ang gumagawa nito ay mga kababaihan na nasa somebody as far as Isabela City, Basilan, Davao, Tugigaraw, Metro Manila. They're spread all over because they work from home. And a lot of them have no technical background, 0 to little technical background. And we equip them with the skills and the tools to do this type of work. So the Elevate IDA program won was a finalist in the COVID response training program for economic recovery of the UN Women in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. And so far we've trained around 770 women all over the country. We also and then currently we have around 200 women who worked in our projects. And then we've had a little over 20 projects so far from clients, and that is increasing. And that's why we are looking towards increasing the number of women that can be trained in this arena. So let me share with you this next one. Hold on. This next one is just to give you an idea of how we've made an impact on the women that we worked with. No? So let's watch this.
Nag-resign po ako nung na-aksidente po ako. Yung confidence level ko is tumaas. Kasi nagkakaroon po kasi ako ng knowledge at saka confident pa rin po ako na mag-apply ng mga online jobs.
Laking pasalamat sa AIDA kasi dadagdagan po yung kaalaman ko at may natutunan pa akong mga skills.
Na-consider po ako ng orthopedic disability because kasi po na-stroke po ako before. Ngayon, isa na po akong student, first year college student and incoming second year, taking up Bachelor of Science in Social Work.
Laking tulong dahil hindi ko na kailangan umalis ng bahay, hindi ko na kailangan mag-commute, hindi ko kailangan makipagsapalaran sa labas.
Hindi pa huli ang lahat para sa mga kababaihan na nakatulad ko. Yung pera naman na kinita doon, talagang nagagamit siya. Mga kailangan sa bahay, sobrang malaking tulong po talaga siya.
Thankful din ako sa opportunity na to kasi kahit nasa bahay lang, nag-earn na ako.
Kaya ko nang kumuha pa po ng mga ibang task po at willing pa rin po naman po akong matuto sa iba pang mga project na darating po.
Sa mga katulad kong nanay na hindi man ganun kagaling sa pagdating sa computer, sa mga applications. So, Elevate IDA siya yung magandang stepping stone mo kung gusto mong pumasok or kung gusto mong magkaroon ng career dito sa bahay, at the same time, maalagaan mo yung mga anak mo.
Malaking impact talaga sa aming professional life. Saka yun, nakakatulong siya financially.
Yung job na meron ako ngayon is really very fulfilling. I have this job in Connected Women. I can impart my learnings to other ladies.
It helped me have my self-esteem back. And confidence back. And then yun nga na nakakapag-work ako sa bahay na hindi ko kailangan mamili between my family and my career.
I'm way over 35 pero malakas pa ako. So how am I going to provide for my family if I cannot get a job? Getting into the training was a big help because it became the stepping stone for me to get into Connected Women.
I do multiple jobs because nga dahil graduate ako ng Elevate IDA, and then nagiging interesado sila what I know. Yun is napakalaking impact sa akin na nagbago yung plano ko na sana mapapalayo pa ako sa pamilya ko, pero dahil dito na lang ako kasama sila.
Rewarding siya na napunta ako sa organization that really gives back.
I'm sure yung mga natutunan ko dito, madadala ko kung ano man yung career na mapapasukan ko.
So these are some of the program funders that we've had. The bottom part are yung mga clients that we work with. And some of the awards that are, actually itong mga awards na to are not comparable to the fulfillment that you get from hearing testimonials that I showed you earlier. Yung women being able to work from home, saying how much the program and the work that they do with Connected Women has helped them. And we're looking forward talaga to bringing this to more women, no? And we're and really to make sure that we have a lot more women brought into the digital economy, because there's that big industry that is yet to be maximized, no? And we are in a good position, we meaning us Filipinos, because we have most of our women have the English literacy, no? Marami tayong, we can, kahit basic literacy lang. And then we also have a lot of women who are willing to learn, and all the more are encouraged to learn about something like this, because they will be able to work and earn without leaving their homes and without leaving their families. So at Connected Women, we believe in a future where technology accelerates innovation with impact and creates accessible opportunities for all. So we invite everyone, partners such as the ICT, to work together to ensure that no woman and her family is behind. So if you would like to learn more about what we do, this is my email address. You can also connect with the partnerships team if you're interested in becoming a partner. And this is our website, connectedwomen.com. We're in the at the end of it, no, I think one of the main motivators for me to go into something as challenging as the AI industry, it's not the tech that gets me going, it's the impact that we are making, no? And we will be making to women as we bring them into this world of the digital economy, and hopefully we'll be able to give them real opportunities so that they can work from home and provide for their families as well. So thank you so much for listening. I'll turn you over to Jacil for additional. If there's any other questions, I think we'll be going to the open forum. Thank you.
Thank you so much po, Ma'am Lizelle, no? So we are very enlightened po sa kung ano po yung role of Connected Women. We are actually inspired po dun sa mga video. Actually, it's not the first time I watched yung video, but like every time na pinapresent po siya with the Connected Women event, talagang nakaka-inspire po that we are able to provide po yung ganitong support sa kanila, especially those na, of course, it's really hard to be a, parang na-share po kanina sa video na yung opportunity po as a woman, tapos may, for example, you're a differently enabled women, ganyan. So, it's really inspiring po, and I hope na yung ating mga participants were able to be inspired, and also, you can connect po with Miss Lizelle through us, or you can email her po or yung team po nila if you want to have collaboration with them po. So, let me just share my screen again. So, we are in the portion na po ng ating Q&A. So, if you have questions po, kindly, of course, gamitin po natin yung chat box po natin, or you can also raise your hand if you have questions po for our speakers. Let me just spotlight ko lang po yung ating mga speaker. So, ay, ako naman. Ayan. Okay. So, I guess, parang wala pong nag-chat, no? So, I'll just start na lang po with the question. Actually, we've prepared questions po, and also may mga nag-PM po sa amin regarding po sa questions nila. Wait, cannot find si Ma'am. Just pin po them para makita sila ng mga, ayan. So for the first question po, That's like yesterday po kasi I have attended po a session din in relation din po siya sa Women's Month, no. So statistically speaking daw po, as she had presented, in the tech industry or in startup industry, no, it's a male dominated type of industry, and as we all know po, we want to be involved as a women. So as a women founder or enabler, how can men support you as a women founder po sa journey nyo in tech? So that's one of the question po. How can men or of course partners na lalaki po will help you or your group po? Ayan. So anyone can start naman po with that. I'm answering the question po. Sige po.
So sabihin ko po sanang women's first, pero puro pa pala tayo babae speaker.
Yes.
So, siguro po I'll jump in. Actually po sa Taraki, men are also supportive. I guess from the events you'll see that. And I guess a practical way wherein they can help us, especially if we have events. Specifically, they can serve as speakers, they can serve as mentors. And another thing that I love in our region, here in Cordillera, kapag meron tayong mga meetings, hindi nila dinadegrade yung suggestions natin mga babae. Actually, they support it. And they also consider it. And I guess that's one way of them supporting us. And if ever we need them, just a tap, they're there doon sa ating mga events and also initiatives. Kaya those are just some of the examples. There are more. By just simply listening to our voices, I guess that's also another way of them supporting us.
Yes, that's true, no, Jess. Actually, sa team namin dito sa IIDB with Miss Kat, actually, girl power nga rin kami kasi babae. Actually, dalawa lang kami nag-handle nung IIDB, and it's really helpful nga to be, collaborate din. Even if, syempre, minsan yung mindset natin na parang hindi tayo mapapakinggan like that. So, it's important then to have that collaboration, and don't be afraid na, collaborate with them, especially yung mga mas makakatulong sa atin. Yes po, Ma'am Lizelle po.
Siguro, yung very real yung struggle dun sa women who are working with us, no? Especially they work from home. We see how important the support of the partner or the family is in them doing this type of work. So the support being, we encourage the women who work with us to figure out, domestic arrangements if they're working, so that they can focus on their work and have other people in the household take care of certain things. So that's one. We tell them, when we talk to them, to make sure that they can ensure that they're focused on the work and are able to deliver the work that they committed to, by making sure that they have support in their family, because that's when you work from home, that's pretty much a big factor in whether you're going to succeed, doing a job and staying in that job or not, no? And then at the level naman within the organization, we have a few men in our team, and then again, it's very very peculiar din kasi na lahat ng mga nasa tech, lalo na sa team namin din, we also have they're also male, so we know that the males have that, may ganun silang focus, no, that they're more into technology. And we acknowledge that, and we see how they are helping us in understanding this the AI landscape, the machine learning landscape on the more technical side of it. And we work with them to make sure that, we understand each other and we collaborate so that our projects run smoothly. So yun yung very practical for us sa Connected Women. So it's very important na collaboration still happens. Even if Connected Women we prioritize women in our training and the projects that we do, we still see the importance of the support of men so that our own women will succeed in their jobs. Hindi yan, the women don't work in a vacuum. And we recognize that. Yan.
So thank you for that, Ma'am Lizel. No? So it is really important nga po yung support, especially as a, a work from home nga po na mga example ni Miss Lizel. How about Ma'am Miss Paula po? Do you have any answer or sharing po that you might want to share?
Well, I need to expound with Ate Lizel's comment in terms of the family setting. When you decide to go freelancing or to work from home or to career change, especially to those married women, even though to say culturally dito sa atin, hindi natin nakikita masyado yung at par or the difference between men and women, which is because here in the Cordillera, we're equal. We are head to head. We know our role, and we know our delineation, which is going back to the family setting, is that when you decide to shift career into work from home, have a good conversation with your partner or your wife or your husband. Don't just say, I would like to go freelancing, bahala ka na dyan. You need to discuss what's the plan, how what's going to be the arrangement, ano yung mangyayari, what will going to be the sharing, and what's going to be happening or what are the changes that's going to happen for the next 3 months, 6 months, 4 months, within a year, so that there is an anticipation. Otherwise, you're not going to have the support that you needed. Mapapressure ka lang in some way, and when you're already working as a virtual assistant or working from home, open communication with your man or the people that are around you, your family, and so on. Kasi what they see is that you're just sitting around in the corner, pindot on the laptops, or that's what they see. Pero they don't see the actual work that's being done in the computer. So you need to explain to them that these are the things that I'm doing and these are the things. It's open communication. And with mothers, with little kids, I know it's going to be challenging, but there are some clients kasi that they really specifically said that they don't want to have mothers in their team for the reason of course, we do understand the nature of work. However, if you decided to work from home, you need to train your kids as early as on how your work arrangement. Meron din kayong work arrangement with your kids, with your husband, with your family. You need to work that out. Otherwise, you're not going to have the support that you're going to expect in working from home or in this kind of industry. And true then, in terms of building your startup in the tech industry, it's true that it's a male-dominated. Kasi when we also pitching some of our ideas, when you see people pitching, they're all men. But again, equity and equality, you need to acknowledge that as an individual or as a man or something, it's not related to their gender, but it's related to their strength. So when you're working with a team with, tech industry, you need to acknowledge the strength of each your team members. Not because they are men, ganito na sila, this woman is ganito na sila. But you need to acknowledge that each of the members are, regardless of their gender, they have their own strength. Huwag niyong titignan yun. But sometimes there are manifestations, but again, it's up to you as the one leading the project or the startup to balance it out. So, yun lang.
So thank you for that, no, Ma'am Paula. So ni-highlight ni Ma'am Paula yung importance, of course, of communication and yung balance between roles po, especially on this industry. So for the next question po, I think this will be our last question. So for in the ano na rin po ng time. So from Sir Josh po, hello Sir Josh. So who is the most influential woman you know, and how does she inspire you in becoming the woman leader you are na? So yun po yung question ni Sir Josh.
Hirap naman yun.
Ano po, pang Miss Universe po yung question ni Sir
Miss
Josh.
Universe.
Contestant
Maybe I
number
can
1.
start. I can
Yes,
start.
ma'am.
All right. In terms of I'll just go with the latest. For me, the one who sing The Flower, I think it's Miley Cyrus. Because if you really listen to the lyrics, in terms of startup, in terms of business, even though your sexuality or gender is not really will not, it may be a factor in some way, but in the end of the day, it's you. It's going to be you who will make the change with your life. So, instead of crying, remember, you can buy yourself flowers and you can talk to yourself. So do not be anchored to anybody, but be present and acknowledge your being, po.
Thank you for that, Ma'am Paula. Next, contestant. Next, want to share po yung kanilang take on that question.
For me, I have, just within Connected Women, I have 3 women that it's somebody who's very real, meaning I talk to them. It's our co-founders, so our founders, so that's Gina Romero and Ruth Yu Owen, and our CEO, our newly minted CEO, Agnes Salvacio. So it's a powerhouse of women, and they are the ones leading Connected Women, no? And I'm so honored to be working with them in this arena, and bringing women in technology, and bring women in the digital economy space. So that in itself. So if you see them on LinkedIn, just connect with them, and so that you can, and they share a lot of their passions. They have their own areas of expertise, and that is why, for me, they are the most influential women that I have known so far. No? So yun, tatlo na kagad yun. But thank you. You can look for them on LinkedIn as well. So they are the ones who lead the way for Connected Women, so that we can continue working for impact.
Thank you po, Ma'am Lizelle. So you can search po yung names ng mga other members po or yung founders po nila, Miss Lizelle sa Connected Women. How about you, Ma'am Jet?
Ayan. So, there are lots of women. Ayan. Pero ako siguro generic yung sagot ko eh. Of course, first would be the first woman that I met. It's my mom. She raised us up on her own when our dad went abroad for like a really long time. 3 children, all cesareans. Kaya really, really, really strong woman. And from her, I learned how to really be who you are. Another would be, of course, the other Tarakis. Dun ko nakita, grabe, sobrang busy nila, but grabe yung impact nila to everyone that they are meeting. So there are lots, and the last one would be my past self. I was so lost. I also faced lots of challenges, but my past self made me who I am today. So I'm really thankful to those women and to the speakers that we have also today. Thank you so much also for being so influential, so inspiring, and for the insights. And to every woman that I have met and that I'm going to meet. Thank you, everyone.
So thank you po. Thank you, Giselle, for that sharing. No, it's really inspiring actually to hear about these stories. Hindi lang, of course, of women, but of all gender, no, for, you know. And also, do you have any other questions po ba to our participants? You have other questions po or reaction? I think, ayun. Yes, Giselle.
I guess for me, one question that I have for my co-speakers would be, what was like the greatest or what was the hardest problem that you have encountered with your startups, with your journey, with your experiences?
Your name is Giselle.
Paula, take it away. Nanturo, you know. No, because you're the startup founder, not me. I'm an enabler. So go ahead.
I see, I
Tinuro,
see.
you know, binolunteer si Paula.
Voluntold.
Okay. So this is in the perspective of someone building your own business, regardless it's a startup or something. Well, 4 points. The most challenging number one is people. People are very unpredictable. So have the right people on your team. Kahit na medyo matagal yan, basta the right people. Because the right people will help you accelerate the growth of your business. I know it will going to be tough. There's going to be, it's like ano tawag doon? It's like dating. You need to find the one that's right for the startup. Number two is the process. So once you already find the people, establish your process because again, people come and go. And this process that once established will help you, hindi ka mahihirapan to relay or hand over the knowledge that you've learned through the experiences with the people, with the different people in your team. And also, it will going to be the benchmark on how you're going to improve moving forward. I think if you have the first two, then the second two, the profit and the planet will come after. Especially for the profit. If you have the right people and you have the right process for your startup in place, you're going to, the return of investment, the profit will come afterwards. So run after the people first, not after the profit, the people. So that's for that's what's happening for the previous years.
Thank you po, Ma'am Paula, for that sharing. How about you po, Ma'am Lizelle?
As somebody who is part of a startup, I joined when we were really just starting up, and I saw the pivot, and I was part of that whole, the shifting from one focus to another. So I want to emphasize that there will come a point in time when the problem that you originally wanted to address for your startup is no longer the problem that is there. You're faced with another or in another form. Or but if that happens, you must take time to step back, because it's better and more prudent to take that step back and and review and assess how you will proceed next. No? Kasi startups are have limited resources. That's definitely one reality of startups. No? So with your limited resources, you really need to take the time to take that step back and review, especially when you're at that point when you feel that what you started off addressing is no longer or has morphed into something else, and therefore you would need to change strategy and regain your foothold, because otherwise, if you continue on without acknowledging that, then it's just going to be potentially a failure, because you did not listen to or look at what your environment is telling you. So again, like everything, you don't operate in a vacuum. So you have to consider everything that's happening around you.
Thank you po for that input, Ma'am Lizelle. How about you, Jez? Do you want to answer your question?
Tanong ko, sagot ko.
Yes.
Hala daw pala, hindi ko na tinanong. But I guess for us, the hardest part was like being faced with certain situations na unpredictable. Yun talaga eh. Yung mga hindi mo inaasahan, nakalatag na lahat sa work plan mo, lahat nakaplano na, tapos biglang may mga changes. I guess, ang hirap nun. Tulad nga sabi ni Ma'am Paula, di ba, yung changes sa tao, tapos syempre meron din dyan yung changes sa problem, minsan mga natural na changes, yung mga hindrances, yung na-experience natin last year, di ba, G? Mga bigla na lang may bagyo. Basta may event kami, lagi may bagyo. Ayan, kaya kailangang i-cancel. Minsan, meron din yung changes dun sa mismong mga personal na challenges, ganun, circumstances. Kaya, I guess, yun yung mahirap. Those are the hardest parts, pero those are also like spices, no? Doon sa buong traction ng project, ng startup, di ba? Pero personally, yun talaga as a person. Yung mga unpredictable talaga na mga challenges.
Yes, that's true actually. Di lang, personal and of course yung mga, alam na natin yun. So for the last po, no, may nagpahabol po sa ating question. So ano ba yung kanyang chat? So as an ending po, no, so he asked, or she, Miss Dizer Clean, Miss or Mister, how do you measure success po? And also to end po yung inyong talk, no, just a little message lang po to everyone who want to start a career in tech or as a woman or founder po. So how do you measure success, and a short message po as an ending po. Thank you. Sige po, you can start. Anyone can start po.
I'll start it off.
Yes.
For Connected Women, we measure success. We have key performance indicators that we set. So we measure our success based on the key performance indicators we've set for ourselves. And these key performance indicators are based on what we want to look for. And then one of these, of course, is the reach of our training program, how many we've trained, the number of partners that we've worked with and are continuously working with, and of course the number of projects that we have, and in the end, what's important to us as well is the impact that we have, or we are giving to the women who we train and we give projects to. So the impact can be, of course, two things. whether the training or the program has changed their mindset when it comes to working in technology and being able to work in AI, and working from home. And of course, the other one is how whether the what they earn is enough to support or augment the what their family needs in terms of income. Yun ang pinaka-basic sa amin. In the end, that's what we're looking for. Women who say that how the program has helped them, and in terms of learnings, but also in terms of their economic, the impact that we have on them, on their economic status. So yun yung dalawa. So siguro as last parang message for somebody who is take it from me, because I went into technology for at a very late stage in my life. So, but despite the lateness, I'm still here and I'm still learning. And every day I learn new things. Every day we learn new things. I unlearn things as well. What's important if you want to get into something like this is that capacity and the ability to learn, unlearn, relearn. Those are yun ang pinaka-importante. Actually, kahit saan, kahit anong ginagawa mo, yun ang importante, because that will be the one that will propel you to where your passion lies and where you want to make the greatest impact. So, thank you.
For other speakers po, can share na. Yes, Ma'am Paula.
Okay, ako na lang. Ano yung questions pala? How you measure success? Well, it's very indirect one. Measuring success is actually you are the one who's going to set it up. For example, for me, what if my measure of success is that I'm earning 1 million a month? That's one of my parang ganon. But in terms of a startup, you need to really per business, magkakaiba kasi ng industry and magkakaiba ng nature. So you need to identify your key performance indicator as example of Ma'am Lizelle. However, this will change and vary based on the industry, the goal, the mission, the vision of a startup. But me personally, you also need to put your measure of success. So magkakaiba po yan. For us in His Success, it's more on the number of people that we reach out or touch base with. And also, but we are in the process of redefining our success. Kasi for now, the team is growing. And yung initial namin, to be honest, the initial measure of success namin is how much income will we bring into the table. So yun yung initial measure of success namin before. But, with so many things happening, you're going to realize money is not only the thing. So you're going to iterate. So based on your situation, you're going to iterate and relearn. Ano na naman yung magiging for this year, baka ito muna yung magiging measure of success. And my message is to those who are interested in building their business, consistency is the key. You won't see how the I's and the T's connect. If you, for example, you encounter a struggle, then okay, done. Done. But you need to see, you need to have an open mind and iterate based on the situation. So you just need to know, or you need to have, again, balik tayo to your why. Your why, bakit mo ginagawa yung business mo, bakit mo ginagawa yung startup mo, why are you pushing for that, pushing for the impact and pushing for the trainings and so on. So why are you doing your business and why you're doing this one? So you need to continuously iterate, and be aware of the changes around you. But of course, you need to also know when to stop. You need to know when to pause. When you pause, decide, gather the information. This is what's happening. Can I iterate? Or this is something that I need to stop. Or, yun. So you need to also know how to put a period on that. You need to be consistent on your business. But again, you need to be aware when to put a period on it. So, yun lang po.
Thank you po, Ma'am Paula. And lastly, of course, Miss Giselle.
Pwede po bang copy-paste na lang? Mga insights. That's true. Yan. So for Taraki naman, our measures for success is like number of jobs created, ilan ng innovators sa region, mga ganun. Another one na innate na measure of success for us would be ilan na yung natulungan talaga. Yan. Yung impact talaga do sa community. Yung mga tao na nai-inspire sa mga events mo, ilan na sila. So, yun yung mga measure namin. Another one, yung last message for all. Yan. Just to summarize everything, you shouldn't fall in love with the solution or your idea, but fall in love with your problem. Yan. Kasi there may be other solutions na makikita kayo, but if you were grounded with your problem, then you can always work it out. Yan. So, yun lang, 3:30 na, sakto. Thank you again, everyone.
Yeah, so, thank you so much, no? So, that ends po yung ating Q&A session. I hope na nasagot po lahat ng ating mga tanong. And if you have questions, just feel free po to message us dito sa the ICT, or you want to connect with anyone from our speaker, just feel free po to connect with us. And again, we'd like to thank you po for giving this time to actually listen and also share po yung inyong mga success stories. And nitingnan ko nga po kanina yung participants, actually nag-stay silang lahat. Nagawin monitor ko sino yung umaalis. No? So I hope and I know na may napulot sila with this session. So I'll just want to share again yung aking screen to formalize yung ating event for this wait lang. Ano na yun? For this oh my gosh. Wait lang, nawawala yung ano. Ayan. So let me just present this certificate of appreciation to all our speakers. Let me just read po. Actually, umuulan na. Lakas ako na lang po ng very, very light ang aking boses, no? So let me just read pong content ng aming certificate. So this certificate of appreciation is given to our resource speaker for being the resource speaker during the conduct of the webinar entitled #GirlBossWomen on ICT, featuring women startup founders and enablers here in the Cordillera Administrative Region in celebration of the 2023 National Women's Month with the theme We for Gender Equality and Inclusive Society, given this 28th day of March to be signed by our Regional Director, Engineer Ray M. Parnacio. So again, I would like to extend our thank you to our speakers this afternoon. Allah, hindi ko mahanap yung screen ng participants. Wait lang. Wait. Nasa na siya? Wait, stop share ko na lang. Ayan. So again, thank you po to everyone. So to formally end po yung ating event, I would like to call our TOD Chief, Dr. Alan Arlao, to give his closing remarks po for this session.
Yeah, thank you, Giselle, and magandang hapon po sa lahat. And it's a refreshing thing to hear from an all-women forum, and discussing about the opportunities, the challenges, and success stories, and even finding the startup hobby or wifey thing. And you always connect the love life in on all the success measures, diba? So, in conclusion, women in ICT made tremendous strides in the industry, overcoming like those mentioned as challenges being, I mean, you have your maternal obligations, especially if you are mothers already. And as the world becomes increasingly reliant on technology, there is a greater need for us to have diverse perspectives and representation in the field. Women have proven to themselves to be innovative, skilled, and valuable contributors to the tech industry, as demonstrated by our three girl boss today's forum. No? So sabi nila, women actually have better memory than us men. Kasi daw, kahit 10 years nang nakaraan, hindi nila malilimutan yan. Di ba? So, marami, paulit-ulit, hindi nila malilimutan. And I tend to agree with that very much. So, however, there is still much work to be done in terms of achieving true gender equality and inclusivity in ICT and in tech industry. No? It is important for women to continue what you are doing, continue to advocate for themselves, and support each other in this industry. So we need to encourage young girls in particular to pursue careers in tech and provide them with the resources and opportunities they need to succeed. So we here in the ICT, together with you as our partners, we can create a more diverse and equitable ICT industry. So women in tech have already accomplished so much, and I have no doubt that they will continue to be at the forefront of innovation and change. So let us celebrate the Women's Month and let's work more towards a brighter and more inclusive future para sa ating lahat. So magandang hapon po at mabuhay kayong lahat.
Yeah, so thank you so much po, Doc Alan, for that very empowering closing remark. So before anything else po, I would like to share this one lang po, no? Since nandito na rin po tayo and you're interested naman po in programs offered by the ICT and other agencies po, no? So just a heads up po, no, before we end our program or session this afternoon, I would like to share this news lang po to everyone, just to heads up our startup enablers and founders. So the Startup Grant Fund is now open for, or will open their call for proposal soon. So this is the first time the ICT would be offering this one. So you will get the chance to have your startup be funded by the ICT around, I think, 500,000 to 1 million po yung pwedeng makuhang grant fund if you're qualified. So are you ready to take a step up and elevate your startup? The DICT Startup Grant Fund will open its call for proposals soon. If you are a startup with ICT-based products or services, this might be your chance to be one of the first grantees of the DICT, of the startup grantees of the DICT. So this is the first time again that we're offering this. So just be ready po with your proposals and watch out for the upcoming call for proposals. So you can check po yung Facebook page ng DICT and Carrefour the guidelines po for your reference. So yun lang po from our side, and I hope that you had a great session this afternoon, and we hope to see you po on our other events. So thank you so much po and have a great afternoon. Again, thank you po to all our speakers and participants. Yun lang po. Thank you so much po for attending.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
And don't forget po pala to fill up our attendance and our evaluation form to get yung ating certificate and other. Thank you so much po again, and stay safe.
Thank you, Miss Paula, Ma'am Lisel, Jessel. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Alan.
Thank you po.
Thank you po. So I'll be ending na po yung ating Zoom. So thank you again for joining and yun po, see you in our other events. Thank you po.